When we last left Sunnydale, Buffy was in a bit of trouble. And by a bit, I mean she had a vampire the size of a small SUV leaning over her. Fangs bared, dramatic lighting, the whole thing. This was Luke. Big, looming, the kind of guy who doesn't enter a room so much as block the doorframe. He bends down, ready to bite, and then a hiss, a sizzle. That little silver cross around Buffy's neck flares hot, and suddenly, the monster's the one screaming. Fashion meets function. In the 90s, everyone had one of those necklaces. Claire's bestseller, guaranteed to repel both vampires and bad deeds. Buffy scrambles free and bolts through the graveyard, because in Sunnydale, all roads lead through headstones. Moonlight, wind and trees, that perfect movie fog. She spots Willow cornered by a vampire, and Xander being dragged off by two more. Cue Slayer reflexes. A kick, a punch, a puff of dust, and the good guys are mostly intact. Mostly because Jesse's gone. And then, cue the theme song. Guitars wail, drums crash, and suddenly everything's tinted slightly red and heroic. The 90s in audio form. Equal parts angst, eyeliner, and earnestness. Back then you didn't skip it, you lived it. Every riff, every slow motion stake spin, you danced through the credits and hoped your tape didn't eat itself. Cut to daytime. Bright California sun outside, but inside the library it's another world. That kind of quiet where you can still hear lockers far away. Giles is mid-lecture, surrounded by books older than half the faculty. He's explaining how demons once ruled the earth, and vampires are basically the leftovers. It's very British, very calm, very apocalypse adjacent. Willow listens like it's extra credit. Xander looks unconvinced. And Buffy's doing that polite teenager thing where you sit still while internally screaming. She knows all this already. She's the Slayer. The girl who just wanted a normal semester and instead got a prophecy and a stake. Meanwhile, underground, Jesse's still alive. Barely. The vampires drag him before their boss, the Master, who appears like someone just uncorked a bottle of existential dread. He takes one unimpressed look at Jesse and mutters, Luke and Darla promises he'll be useful. Bait. The kind Buffy will chase. Back upstairs, Buffy decides she's going to find him. Willow and Xander nod, and the library suddenly feels less like study hall and more like a plan taking shape. Or at least pretending to. Meanwhile, in Sunnydale's most underfunded club, membership stands at 1 cranky librarian, 2 confused teenagers, and a Slayer who could really use a nap. There are no matching shirts, no bake sales, no posters on the wall, just stacks of dusty books and a growing sense that things are getting wildly out of hand. It's the kind of meeting that could only happen between algebra and the end of the world. The library settled into that weird kind of quiet you only get during class hours. Still noisy somewhere, but muffled. Out there, gel pens, gossip, phys ed whistles. In here, maps, monsters, and mild panic. Giles unrolls a city map that predates disco and launches into full watcher mode. Catacombs, he says, like it's a normal word for a Wednesday. Xander peers at it upside down. Willow nods like she gets it. Buffy drums her fingers, half listening, half dreaming of being literally anywhere else. Sunnydale, Giles explains, was built over tunnels and old sewers, which, come to think of it, explains the rent prices. That's how vampires move unseen. And Buffy suddenly remembers. Luke hadn't followed her out. He'd come up. That's how they took Jessie. And that's how she'll find them. Xander offers to help. Buffy vetoes him with one look. Giles gives a speech about destiny, which Buffy boils down to, save friend, don't die, got it. Finally, Giles relents and asks Willow to help from here. Research. On the internet. And oh, the internet. Not the sleek kind we have now. The 90s internet. Loud, dramatic, deeply personal. Every login sounded like summoning spirits through a modem. A chorus of beeps, hisses, and dial tones that said, something incredible might happen, if the connection holds. Half the time, someone picked up the house phone and it crashed. You just sit there watching it try again, line by line, pixel by pixel. But Willow loves it. She scoots up to that big beige computer tower, its fan humming like a sleepy lawnmower, and starts typing like she's cracking a secret code. Buffy lifts her bag, casual rebellion personified. Don't wait up, she tosses over her shoulder. Giles sighs the very specific sigh of an Englishman outmatched by teenage destiny. The library hums again. The steady buzz of fluorescent lights and overworked heroes. Then Buffy's gone. Out through the hall, past the lockers, where the world smells like pencil shavings and cafeteria pizza. Because Destiny doesn't care about attendance policies. And skipping out on fate is a lot easier when you can jump a 6-foot gate in boots. Cut to the mausoleum. Of course it's a mausoleum. Sunnydale has more graveyards and cafeterias. And then, of course, Angel. Half in shadow, half brooding for the camera. Leaning on a crib like he paid extra for mood lighting. He warns her not to go down there. She rolls her eyes. He always is chatty, or just when doom's involved. He admits he's afraid. She says that's okay. I'll be brave enough for both of us. He opens his mouth to say something cool, but she's already walking away. Gonna wish me luck, she calls. He waits till she's gone to whisper, good luck. The kind of line that sounds helpful until you realize it's just an echo. The tunnels feel close and humid, the kind of place where even sounds seem sticky. Buffy moves through carefully, boots scuffing on stone, flashlight bouncing off brick, and runs straight into Xander, the boy who cannot take stay put for an answer. Back at school, Giles is buried in books, realizing the harvest is tonight. Willow's at the computer when Cordelia and her friends sweep in like a perfumed storm. They're supposed to be learning data entry, but Cordelia's busy educating the room on Buffy Summers' criminal past. How she's a psycho loony who burned down her old school's gym and probably bit someone while she was at it. Willow's a few computers down, pretending not to listen. When Cordelia spots her, she snaps, "Excuse me, some of us don't need to snoop to feel special." Willow just smiles, soft but steady. Buffy's not crazy. Then she logs off and walks away. Quiet mic drop. Cordelia checks her reflection in the monitor and reapplies lip gloss. No ring light, no filter, just CRT glow and unshakable confidence. The 90s in one frame. Back underground, Buffy and Xander find Jessie. At first it's relief, until he looks up, eyes flat, smile too wide. He's not rescued, he's recruited. Vampire Jessie steps forward with a line about bait, and Xander groans. Now you tell us. The fight that follows is chaos in slow motion. They slam a door, Vampires pound on the other side, and they scramble for a ladder. Sunlight filters through the grate above like a promise. Buffy climbs first. A hand grabs her leg. Sizzle, smoke, hiss. Sunlight wins. Below them, the master seethes. Another failed minion, another dramatic speech. He kills one just to make a point. Upstairs, a school bell rings. Life goes on. While Buffy's washing off the dust and pretending she might rest, Sunnydale is already getting ready for night. The bronze glows. Half coffee house, half live band venue, and 100% perfect for supernatural inconvenience. A guy in flannel strums on stage. The lights are low, the soda's flat, and everyone looks effortlessly overstyled. Down below, Luke kneels before the master, who's giving a speech dramatic enough for a community theater. A drop of blood, a toast to darkness, and Luke becomes the vessel. The master's walking espresso shot. It's basically an MLM, but with more cloaks and fewer pamphlets. Back in the library, Buffy's crew regroups. They're dusty and emotionally done. Any good news, she asks. Giles looks up. How about the end of the world? Buffy sighs. Knew I could count on you. Giles explains the harvest. How Luke will channel energy from every kill straight to the master. They need a crowd, a stage, somewhere with mood lighting. Xander groans. The bronze. Because of course it's the bronze. Every apocalypse deserves good acoustics. Buffy grabs her bag again. Willow and Xander follow. Giles mutters something about rituals, which is librarian for be careful. The sky's gone indigo, palm trees swaying like they know something. The bronze hums with music and cheap fog. Cordelia's mid-gossip about Buffy. Willow and Xander slip in through the back door, trying to look casual and failing adorably. The band plays, lights flicker, and somewhere beneath the floor, shadows start to move. The air thickens, charged. That moment right before the scene tilts. Outside, Buffy's closing in. Inside, the crowd keeps swaying, blissfully unaware. The night is holding its breath, waiting for the downbeat, as the harvest begins to rise. Inside the bronze, the air drops out. 1 second it's music and chatter, the next it's silence. The doors slam. Luke strides on stage like a man about to accept an award for Villain of the Year. He grins at the crowd, every fang catching the light like bad jewelry. Cordelia freezes mid-eye roll. The band keeps playing for 3 heroic seconds. Luke grabs a random bystander and feeds. Below, the master sighs. Finally, productivity. Then, Buffy bursts in. She's late, but also right on time. Her cross glints under the club lights. Her face says she's officially out of patience. One quip, one kick, and the room erupts. Willow and Xander duck for cover. Cordelia screams high enough to pierce the mix. Buffy moves like muscle memory. Swing, stake, dust, repeat. Luke charges. She ducks, flips, throws him straight into the sound system. Static, sparks, minor property damage. He rises again, smug as ever. Buffy tilts her head, then smash. She shatters a window. Light floods in. Luke flinches, shielding his face. Sunrise, she says sweetly. Except it's night. Just glass and gutsy timing. Stake, dust, silence. Below, the master screams. His connection cut, his harvest ruined. The ceiling rumbles, then stills. The bronze exhales. Lights buzz back on. Music stutters alive. Everyone pretends nothing happened. Buffy dusts off her hands, grabs her friends, and heads into the night. Tired, and maybe a little hungry. Morning in Sunnydale is too bright. The kind of sunshine that hits like caffeine and regret. It's less new day and more walk of shame, but make it scenic. Buffy's back on campus, pretending to listen while Giles lectures about the Hellmouth. Cordelia's already spinning a new story, something about rival gangs. Everyone else nods. Collective repression, a Sunnydale specialty. Xander's still rattled. Willow's quietly brave. And Buffy looks like someone who's finally stopped running from herself. Another day at the end of the world, Giles mutters. Buffy smirks. I'll pencil it in between algebra and lunch. The bell rings. They start walking. Palm trees sway. Students laugh. And somewhere deep below, the master sulks in his underground lair, still monologuing to no one in particular. Sunnydale goes back to normal, which, of course, is never normal at all.